Hello, this is Jeremy from Blue Water Climate Control. I grew up in Tennessee, and when I was 9 years old, the World's Fair came to Knoxville. I was in awe of the Sun Sphere. I dreamed of living in Knoxville. To me, it was the center of the world. After 24 years in the Navy, I've been around the world and visited dozens of countries. My family has moved all over. Now here we are running Blue Water Climate Control right here in Knoxville, the dream I had when I was just 9 years old. Blue Water Climate Control, veteran service, superior value.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Collective Unfiltered on a lovely Monday. As you can see, I'm holding it down solo. My partner in crime is a little bit under the weather. You might see her in the comments here and there, but yeah, she's recovering. So I gave her the night off to just kind of get everything together. But she's doing good, but just a little bit under the weather. But first and foremost, we want to thank our sponsors. First and foremost, of course, Blue Water Climate Control. What's up, Rachel? We have Alexis Hornbuckle Basketball, all your basketball training needs. My girl Lex, she's in Knoxville, so make sure y'all go check her out. Go to alexishornbuckle.com. The Gold Standard Fitness and Sports Performance Training, yours truly. Thank you for the support. The goldstandardtraining.com is where you can find all of my information and services. And our guy Nelson Garcia down in Miami, just passed it tutoring, learning made simple, all your SAT, ACT, and PSAT needs, as well as your math tutoring. And last but certainly not least, our girl Terry Holder, Orange Mountain Designs, out in Alcoa. Make sure y'all go check out the new store. And of course, we actually have a special message from a couple Lady Vols regarding Orange Mountain Designs. Let's check it out.
What's up, y'all? It's Jordan Worston here.
And Tamara Key. And we're excited to announce our NIL deal with Terry Holder at Orange Mountain Design.
Like you all have seen, we dropped a few shirts. We just want to thank y'all for supporting us. We really appreciate y'all. There's still a lot of shirts still out there. We signed all of them because we love y'all to death. So go get your shirts.
Go get your shirts at Orange Mountain Design.
Thank you.
Boom. So if you guys didn't know already, my girl Jordan and TK, they both signed NIL deals with Terry Holder, Orange Mountain Design. So if you're in the Knoxville area, definitely go to the store, grab some shirts. They personally signed all the shirts. So definitely go link up with them. You could see them back on the show sometime soon. So definitely stay tuned. And I'm going to need for y'all to help me with some interaction in the comments because I feel like I'm talking to myself. I got my puppy down here, but he don't really respond too well. But once again, thank everybody for tuning in. What's up, Corey? Hey, Beth, how you doing? Hey, Ballard Sports Media. And, of course, our girl Rachel, always holding it down with the Lady Vol faithful. Also, Lex wanted me to pass along a thank you to everybody who supported the camp last week. We had an incredibly successful camp. It ran very smooth. Shout out to Revitalist Clinic, Jackie's Dream, who providing the food. I know the kids tore the food up. And, of course, all the volunteers and everybody that sponsored, especially everybody that participated in sponsoring a kid. So definitely thank you for that. And I believe we have a little bit of a video to.
I just love you. Okay.
I love you too.
Show me when it's ready. Okay.
All right. You want me to look at you or the camera?
I'm sure you look at the camera.
Yes,
or you
ma'am.
look at me or whoever.
I think we just had a conversation. Here we go.
Ready? Ready? Hey, what made you come up with this idea to combine some mental fitness with your basketball camp?
It was kind of easy because basketball is more than just physical fitness. You have to be mentally fit. You have to be prepared to stretch and grow your mind in order to allow everything else to follow. So teaming up with Revitalist and Ketamine Media, I mean, it just made sense. It's done so much for my life. I wanted to share that with the kids.
Absolutely. And these young ones are going to learn so much and they really need it, don't they?
Oh, absolutely. And y'all came in and y'all did what I couldn't do, and I come in and I do what y'all can't do. So I think they gained a lot. Some of the kids were like, oh man, I was super relaxed in there during the mindful activity. And I think that's something that needs to happen in more camps across the world.
Yeah. And speaking of, are you going to do more camps?
Absolutely.
Right.
Are you going to help me?
I am going to
All
help
right,
you.
then we're
We
going to
got
do more
it.
camps.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Good.
Hey, shout out to Revitalist Clinic, and of course my girl Alexis Hornbuckle is killing it with her first camp last week. So look out for the next camp. I know she's got some other things in the works, so definitely check that out. But man, a lot of sports news, especially in the SEC, Tennessee. Of course, this week preseason for women's soccer starts. You guys obviously know I'm there for women's soccer. So preseason starts literally tomorrow. So they'll be out on the field grinding it out. I know the weather is crazy right now and hot everywhere. And then of course, trying to see what these ball football gonna do this year. What y'all think ball football gonna do this year? Let me see some comments. Um and of course we had the NBA draft. We had a couple of balls in the draft. Shout out to Jaden Springer and Keon Johnson, both on the Jaden going to Philly and Keon going to the Clippers, which is always dope. Get some more balls in the league. Y'all see the picture right there. Uh, that's huge for both of those guys going in the first round. It's big time. So definitely catch them on the court. And other SEC news, how do y'all feel about Texas OU coming to the SEC 2025? That's a big deal. I coached in Texas for 4 years when they were obviously still the Big 12. So to bring that kind of power to the SEC, coupled with the 14 teams that are already here, the SEC is really gonna be something to reckon with. So let me see what y'all think about that. Drop some comments. How y'all feel about it? You all for it? You against it? Think it's gonna make it harder for Tennessee? Let me know what y'all think. Uh, that I feel you. You know, sometimes it's hard out here for us diehard Tennessee fans, but we're still gonna support. But can't get too excited till we see what they put out on the field. Also, make sure you guys, for all my Lady Ball fans, of course, Ball fans, August 21st is the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame induction in Knoxville. And of course, we have our very own Tamika Catchings being inducted. The tickets are on sale now, so of course, grab a ticket and get to that induction. What's up, Maria? U.S. soccer, yes. She said U.S. soccer will play for a bronze at the Olympics. Teams a bit off. Could be COVID-19 fatigue. What do you think? Honestly, Maria, I don't feel like they've been clicking at all. This whole kind of Olympics. I feel like everything's been a step off. Have my thoughts. I don't think they use their roster to their full potential. So I think there are some players, especially in the States, that could have been rostered that weren't. And with the players that they had rostered for the Olympics, I think they could have adjusted the lineup slightly, starting lineup, in my personal opinion. But I mean, at the end of the day, they still get the battle for a medal, which is still nothing to hang your head about. So even though gold is the goal, essentially, they'll still get to compete for a medal. So they'll play Australia on Thursday. With I think it'll still be a very competitive game. Australia they're quick. Um, I think that'll be a good game, but it sucks because I know, of course, your Carly and probably Megan Rapinoe. It's probably their last Olympics, I would say. I feel like this is probably their last hurrah, but maybe not. But I feel for them. I had the opportunity to play with both of them in Chicago, so um, but yeah. And Monica Abbott should have started the Olympic softball gold medal game in my opinion. Well, I'm with you right there, Maria. I certainly think she should have started as well. Of course, I have a bias because she's a lady ball, but at the end of the day, I think she's one of the best pitchers ever. So I definitely agree with that, and that seems to agree as well. But I hope women's soccer pulls out the bronze medal on Thursday. Make sure y'all check that out if you're up early enough. And then how else do you guys feel about the Olympics? What else have you enjoyed, not enjoyed? Of course, Simone Biles is a huge topic of conversation. Stepping away from the team events and all of her individuals except for the balance beam for her mental health. I think that's huge. I think it's really awesome, especially a athlete of her caliber and what she's been able to accomplish thus far in her career. I think that for her taking that stand on such a huge platform and the way that she did it is amazing. And I mean, every time you turn on the TV right now, it's a commercial with Simone Biles in it. So um, I can't even imagine the pressure that she has been under this entire time. Um, but overall, I've enjoyed seeing some of the other athletes step up and not just rely on her. So that's been really awesome to see. Um, but in other news, we have an official Tap 40 Grill logo. Thanks to everybody that voted during the votes. I think we took a little bit of bits and pieces from a couple things and suggestions. And so, Carter, let them see that official logo. Boom! So there is your official Billy Ratliff Tap 40 Grill logo. So I love it. Cannot wait for it to open. So for those of you that are in the Knoxville area, when we open around football season, you can say you helped vote on a portion of the logo. And Maria said she put her mental and physical health first. She got disoriented in the chair. That can make her paralyzed. Absolutely. I think she went on social media and talked about what I think they call it, like I think she's doing twists and stuff in there, and I I took it as like a form of like vertigo, like you can't quite get your um can't quite find your equilibrium and your balance, which of course as a gymnast flipping and turning and everything, that can be I can imagine that could really, really kind of make you feel like you don't know where you're at. So definitely glad she put her health first. Um what's up? Um I'm not gonna mess up your name, Zen. Thanks for tuning in from YouTube. And what's up, Jason? How you doing? Thank y'all for tuning in. Of course, once again, if y'all are just now tuning in, my partner in crime, co-host Lex, she's a little bit under the weather, so I'm holding it down today. And but she'll be back in action soon. But definitely send your prayers up, for a quick recovery. Um, and then last but not least, obviously I know you guys are hearing all the COVID variant, the Delta variant. So I just want to personally remind everybody to continue to mask up. I know here in Atlanta they put a mask mandate back in place, especially at all indoor places. Um, um, and then that's very true, Beth. She said not as much chatter about doping until Lily King went off on the what is it, the Russian Olympic Committee, whatever they call themselves. But yes, I absolutely agree. There has not been a lot of chatter about doping. Um, but in terms of COVID, everybody guys mask up. Of course, vaccinated, you can still contract the virus even though it just may not be as volatile. But the Delta variant, and speaking with my girlfriend Brianna, who educates me frequently on all these things, that she's a microbiologist and deals with this stuff on a daily basis. But it's definitely more volatile. It spreads easily. I know just kind of hearing things in the news, it has been attacking a lot of the younger generations, the youth. So if you still have an opportunity to get vaccinated. It's free. I mean, go and get vaccinated. At least, if you are in that small percentage that still gets the virus, it's not as volatile as if you were to not be vaccinated. So definitely take care of your health. And of course, if you have people in your family that, parents, grandparents, do it for them as well. Because if you want to see them and you happen to get this variant, it keep building. So I would definitely express to everyone to get vaccinated if you haven't, and just continue to mask up. Get back to. I know it's a pain. I hate it, but wear your mask. Keep washing your hands, sanitizing, and everything like that before we even had a vaccine. So continue to do that. And outside of that, if you guys don't have any other questions for me, this is a quick show, but thank you to everybody that tuned in. We'll give one last shout out to our sponsors. Shout out to Alexis Hornbuckle Basketball. Make sure you check her out, alexishornbuckle.com. Check out the Gold Standard Finishing Sports Performance Training, thegoldstandardtraining.com. And shout out to our guy, Nelson Garcia, down in Miami, Just Passing Tutoring, Learning Made Simple, and our girl, Terry Holder, Orange Mountain Designs. Obviously, go support our Lady Balls that are just signed a NIL contract with Orange Mountain Designs and support them. Maria said, since this is unfiltered, if you can safely get a vaccine, please get one. At this point, if you don't, you're selfish or stupid to both. I agree, man. I agree. Finn said, if Texas joins the SEC, Coach Schaefer comes back to Starkville, but not as our head coach, and that is sad. That is true. How about you thinking about OU and Texas joining the SEC? Finn, I certainly think it makes the SEC even more of a powerhouse. I mean, I coached in Texas for 4 years for women's soccer, and I mean, obviously, Texas traditionally has been the top grossing revenue program for years. I mean, when I was there, I think we brought in almost $80 million in revenue. So, and then to have OU and bring that Texas OU rivalry into the SEC along with all the other rivalries that we have, I think it's certainly going to boost the SEC even more. But I'll be interested to see, what it looks like across the board. That puts us at 16 teams. So ideally 8 in the East, 8 in the West. I'm sure they're going to have to potentially maybe reorganize the East and the West. It'll be very interesting. I'm very interested to see what it looks like. In terms of the SEC, coupled with the other conferences, and if what happens to the Big 12. So now the Big 12 is at 8 teams after 2025. So I don't really foresee the Big 12 being able to withstand itself too long with 8 teams. I know I heard chatter of West Virginia possibly trying to get into the ACC. So yeah, Oklahoma, they have an okay program, but I agree. Texas has a solid men's program, but in basketball. But I think honestly, I think you have to wait and see because that completely changes the landscape of recruiting. Because you got to think of all the recruits that do choose an SEC program because they want to compete in the SEC. So now you take a Texas and OU and you put them in the SEC, and now that recruiting is going to be tough. This is going to be tough. So I'm really excited to see how it goes. But outside of that, thank you guys for tuning in. Man, you got all the questions. I love it. You said the ACC will take Notre Dame and UCF and Cincinnati. Yeah, I think that's valid for sure. But outside of that, guys, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the Collective Unfiltered. We will be back in action for next Monday. Stay tuned. We have some guests lined up for the month of August. So definitely tune in. Keep track of our Instagram. And remember, it is always free to repost, reshare, like, tag people on our videos because that's how we get them out there. So thank you guys for tuning in. Beth, thank you guys. And just remember to be unfiltered when you're free. See you guys.